better. And that's
Absolutely.
always what I love so much about EMEA Masters, because what is going to pull you through the play-ins? It's your own style, what you brought from your own region, and Partizan and Verdant may absolutely do that in this first place decider.
All right, the thing I'm thinking about from Partizan here, if we look down their teammates with the Annie, with the Zaya, the Renata. I did pause for a moment there. I forgot what Renata was called. And the Cannon. We got a lot of sort of zone control ultimates. And especially with the Zaya Renata, they go in a direction. There's going to be a lot of layers here that if Verdant come forwards in a straight line, really make it hard for that Karthus, make it hard for the Wukong to get in excellent positions to dash forwards. We're going to look to that in the later game, as that's normally where Partizan like to play.
Yeah, and not only the Karthus, but a Jinx as well. It is not a mobile AD carry. It's not this Zeri that we've seen so much. So it's going to be such an incredible game where we need to watch positioning, need to watch where these carries will find themselves in these essential team fights. Because, Partizan, I know you have all these lovely tools, but it's going to be difficult to execute, especially when you take a look at the other side. You just have a Cyclone, you have a Quickness. I'd say that's a bit easier.
It's definitely easier, and then sort of the true can be said of the opposite. The approach on the Jinx is much harder because she is longer range, especially in the later game. You know, you might get that rapid fire cannon. It's not so popular these days. But if Partizan decide to try and dive forwards and take that challenge without claiming an objective sort of area first and making Verdant walk forwards, they will struggle to reach the Jinx. They will have to go over the body of Karthus, which is quite a dangerous position to be in. And it's going to set this dynamic where whoever gets there first really has to think about their opponent's approach options and attack them meaningfully.
It's going to be exciting to watch. What's also exciting is this mid lane gang. Karthus immediately being attacked. Viego there doesn't need to stun, just has to slows. And that's first blood going over to Sniller.
That's one of the weaknesses of the Karthus. You know, I sort of called it out earlier on that if you are attacked on that wave, you can hold the range, but you're very fragile if the Annie ever finds you. And sort of with her ability to just blow up someone in her range with very few spells and a few combos, that's going to be a point of pain here for Errol.
Definitely. No flashes used on either side, so might look around again to see what can be done in that mid lane. But overall, great start for the Partizan jungler. Definitely feel happy about taking away that one kill, but now let's see if they can also make something more out of it. Now I want to take a look at this top lane ranged into ranged matchup. It's also been quite some time that I've seen that.
But unusual, right?
Yeah, but Nile has gotten some praise from the analysts before this game, and when you take a look at his stats, you can absolutely see why 10 solo kills in playoffs alone is absolutely mental. I'm kind of rooting for this Gnar to show me some huge teamfight ultimates.
Taxer and Clyde have walked up here from the bottom side. All the pain is in.
There you go, flash for flash answer, but exhaust as well. Sniller might be there. Taxer going forward, trying to get this kill, but Errol will get it with a layways. Verdant now on the board.
When Taxer finished his jungle clear, that was a smooth, calm, controlled motion. Clyde synchronized up from the bottom lane. Partizan in time did not manage to respond and sort of meaningfully pull their mid lane away. So instead of just vision, Verdant extend, they get the kill and they equalize in the mid lane.
Exactly the one that you want is on Errol, being victim of that first blood. Very happy with the kill. Go back to base. Dark Seal also picked up, and the fun really starts for Karthus, obviously, once he hits level 6, right?
It's such a fantastic thing to buy on Karthus, because even if you go down every fight, you clean up the fight around you, and by the time you respawn, you've restacked it completely.
Oh my god, buy Medjais when you die.
Yeah.
Like, it is possible, and it's so much fun.
The gold swing just means that in the next fight, before you go down, you just deal even more damage. It's so effective when you can get around that restriction. It's otherwise tied into the item. You know, when you die, it isn't the end, and you can just stack it again.
Yeah. Very, very nice for Errol and his pocket Karthus pick in what might just be the deciding game in Group D. Obviously, both these teams still got everything in their own hands as of where they'll land. They're both on the top of the standings. And
Let's
now Partizan, good luck. Verdant with a win.
Yeah, let's segue real quick. Let's have a look at who we expect to come second in every other group. Now, maybe not as Lundorf is just making sure Nilly's going to struggle.
Yeah, Nilly gets stunned up there, but the rest of Partizan not there quite yet. There comes Texa, wants to get that kill on the top laner, and it ends up not being anything. Klein might just look for something as well, making his way up to the top lane as well.
Oh,
that's the first Requiem of the game. Not enough for a kill, and we get a little bit of a scrappy fight here up top. Teleport coming back in from Nile. But overall, no one dies.
Yeah, everyone panic and no one relax. Lundorf losing his flash was the big thing there.
Oh, Errol, that's a great time flash. But Yopa is here as well. A roaming Xayah will do it for the kill.
Just on the edge of range, you can see Yopa there was playing for the bind auto reset off of his Q to get enough feathers behind Errol. Really great use of Xayah. Just managed to take out the mid lane. There's like a game of inches in the last few minutes. You know, everyone wants to try and get a flash. Everyone wants to try and extend for a kill. No one wants to give up any ground, even if it is behind your opponent's top tier 1 tower. With that, I don't think it's enough for a dragon, but I'm looking at Lundorf, who's just teleported. He just managed to pick up his Sork's shoes. That's a huge spike for Kennen. I want to see this top lane sort of extend out now. With the Rift Herald coming up real soon, with 2 objectives on the map, our teams can sort of look to more safely play around there. It's not like your opponent is going to be waiting around the corner for you.
Yeah, it is these type of games where you usually see teams fall back on more standard plays that they don't want to overextend or something, but this might just be the most exciting first place to start I've ever seen, because 3 kills already, 7 minutes in, loads of action. Everyone wants to trade a little bit, tries to see that, get a tiny advantage.
Yeah, you know what? I've realized the true stakes of this game.
Okay.
In first place, in Group A of the EMEA Masters playing stage, is Aegis Esports, Aegis, from the LFL. They are locked in first. If you come second here, you can be drawn against Aegis. Both teams would like to avoid the LFL seed and eliminate with the competition.
You like that.
Yeah, Taxa wants it so much he's going to take this dragon off the top. So avoiding the LFL seed. The cost of this game, potentially.
Alright. That is what we're looking at. What we're also looking at is 3 men of Partizan in top lane. Nile.
It's something sort of compliment here. Partizan have sent more numbers to every single fight that wasn't really going down in mid. It's going well for them so far. That is the Super Mega Death Rocket. Clocks is low. Yopa's
and the
going to try and walk him out
also done. Texa might be a little bit of trouble. Great handshake from the Renata. But are they looking for something like no flash available, nothing? Meanwhile, top lane, more action. Nile is the target for Partizan, and that gets punished. It's Nile, second kill for him.
All right, Nile clearly feeling the pressure this game. Nile was able, like, I can't deal with these rhyming names, crazy. It's so close. Right, Cly is behind Relay in mid.
At least they're like short and simple, you know.
Yeah, this is true.
We could have had like we could have had like much longer names with them as well. And thank gosh they're a little bit short, a little bit catchy. All right, let's take a look at some of these lane states.
Yeah, Slilly's doing really great. And with him being in this topside jungle, I can't imagine him doing much else other than clearing this, picking up the Rift Hold to try and extend a different lane. Clocks is covering mid, so we can't see Cly on the map right now. But if we could, from Partizan's perspective, we'd know who's running down mid, as the priority for both of these teams now looks like this Rift Herald. Taxa started it up. Both mid laners thought about a tempo TP, but Partizan not so sure the objective's not under attack already.
Yeah, must compliment Verdant for that objective gameplay. They've already secured their first Drake. This would also help a great deal. Partizan so far ahead with the kills, a tiny bit ahead with the gold, but this Rift Herald will neutralize a little bit of that. We'll make sure things are more even, more fair and square. It is also secured by Taxa.
Taxa got there first. He did sacrifice one of his camps, not feeling like he should do the same. That's going to start to be the difference, I think. Maybe Taxa's objective presence and his engages over just his presence throughout an entire team fight. We'll look to see if that is the case over the next few minutes. With the Dragon coming up in 2:30, there is no immediate need to control a zone, but there is now time to play around that Rift Hold. There's time to try and play a mind game with your opponents. Let's have a look at how Partizan deal with Verdant having that objective in their pocket.
Yeah, it's going to be very important as, oh my dear, Lundorf is absolutely bullying Nilo out of this top lane. You said it, Soul Shoes, Power
Horrible.
Q,
Yeah.
and W. It's just absolutely mental. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, loads of damage actually onto Tex. We've already found the engage, but there's Requiem as well, not doing as much damage for Verdant as they might have hoped. And all is falling apart in this bot lane. 2 kills going over to the Viego. Double for him. Kevin able to find something back, but that is it to something just for Verdant to lick their wounds with.
Yopper might fall, but Snilly was able to get in, and with that Blade of the Rune King with his spike, able to deal absolute chaos in the bottom lane. That is the Rift Herald not used, and Partizan going again. The flash away from Errol, nicely done.
I think he just got that off cooldown.
Yeah, it was real close. That was not up when his teleport came back up. I checked it earlier. While Verdant might be able to push in the wave in the bottom wave, let's have a look at this replay.
The replay of what's currently happening in the mid lane.
Okay, never mind. Take it away.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
Taxa taking us all by surprise, committing it hard into the bot lane, clearly wants to use his Rift Herald down here, was not able to stop Partizan, spreading out slightly there, and with his health bar dropping, still gets a reset and is able to plow through Clay as well. Really well done.
And we talked about this at the start of the game. When Partizan use their ultimates, when they layer their spells, it can burst you down. That was a Wukong. Imagine if that happened to Kevo. He'll be absolutely surprised and immediately deleted and waved goodbye in the future fights, because that was incredible. That was well timed. It was great reaction speed. But Texa is not done yet in the bot lane. He wants to see if he can get some revenge.
All right, clear. Priority to use this Rift Herald in the bottom lane will start to mess with Snilly.
Oh, Texa, I don't think you want to be here anymore. Yeah, he is absolutely low. Does get Berserk, but that will only be delaying his death.
I think a moment of confusion, clearly back up against the wall so he could use the clone to escape over it, and then use the clone in a 1v1 fashion. Maybe got stuck on the wall. It happens to the best of us.
Exactly. Now, I must compliment Snilla as well. 5-0 on this.
I know, scary. And with the dragon coming up as well, what great timing to be attacking that bottom lane once again.
Yeah, you talked about, the strength of the jungle mid duo, and Snilla might just be able to dominate this game, and he's absolutely doing that right now. Blade of the Rune King already finished for him, and some other mythics also being finished so far. Errol and Kevo sitting on that Ludens.
We'll meet someone here. Gosh, just respecting that sort of distance to Tau, and maybe not yet seeing Errol on the minimap was enough.
All right, being able to survive that for now. We've seen this image a lot now.
Oh my goodness!
Dear God, Flame might be in some trouble in the bot lane. Got stunned up.
Finally stuck this Rift Herald in. Finally.
I finally put down the Rift Herald. Judgment, because you wanted to see some nice blaze with this Herald.
Okay, Clox flips it away once and it will fall. Oh my, that we both held our breath for a moment there, really and Snilly.
I was like, okay, they can get this tower, but
yep, not quite.
Clearly not. Quite.
Errol will clear out mid, so it's not the end of the world here for Verdant. They are starting to slip. I think if they want to come back into this game, they're going to get nearly out of top. Another teleport expended up there will not save the tower to boot. I think we've got to see that 5-man presence come together, because the longer Partizan stay split in their 3 lanes, the more Snilly could just run behind someone. The more Lundorf's incredible presence, 40 CS now up in this top side, is making Verdant sweat.
Yeah, Verdant really, really struggling in this early game. 40 minutes in, tower plates have fallen. That means, and Partizan have able to secure quite a lot for themselves. 3,500 gold they are ahead now. And this time, it's not Verdant that still has a Rift Herald in the back pocket, that still has a Drake advantage. Right now, this game has written Partizan all over them.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult with the cannon now moving out of lane. Lundorf, he's just taking the long way back. He's just making sure that if anyone from Verdant felt like getting a little exploratory, they would meet him in the jungle. Taxa not too far away. All right, this should be some sort of at least vision trade, if not a dive on mid.
Plays here as well. Looking for it. Looking for this Carthus. Lundorf has had enough of bullying this night. He wants to bully some other Verdant members as well. Errol, the one on this list, but The wave being cleared means that Errol gets to live another day, which is quite ironic since he's playing Carthus.
Partizan just checking that you don't need to make every single one of these checks hit. You just need to make sure that Verdant aren't getting away with it for free at this time. You know, you're not just saying, oh, we'll just scale happily up into the later game, because once you do have that bead to draw, once you have that lead, you should run with it. Up here under tower. We're starting to see the range really come out from the Jinx. The blue TP.
Yeah, TP and the Featherstorm also well timed. There's Lundorf. There's the Slicing Maelstrom. The cleanse too late as he gets stunned up. Yopper being able to get that kill onto Kevin. The rest of Partizan is here. They want to chase down this Rakan, but he still had his flash in his back pocket. Great flank, great kill for Partizan.
This assassination in the bot lane is paired with Snilly taking the Rift Herald away. Partizan across the map with victory here. Really impressive from Yopper to just invite Verdant under the tower to sort of say, you know, you can keep hitting this. I'm only a Xayah. I'll just stand slightly off to the side. I'll take a bit of poke. And then Lundorf with the assassination in the backside. Really great use of the teleport. Got the Hextech belt right on time and saves his stopwatch as well. This is going to be a big thing for the next fight. And in 5 minutes, he's going to just keep going to another lane. In the meantime, we'll go for that stopwatch power play.
Yeah, meanwhile, this all been happening, still has taken Rift Herald as well for Partizan. Just feels like it's going from bad to worse for Verdant right now, and Partizan really looking strong in this early game. Do lose the tower down the bot lane, first one for Verdant, and was about time, because Kevo and Clay got a lot of free time to hit him that tower, and it's finally fallen. But real question is, how much is that going to matter for this next fight, which will most likely be around this ocean break?
40 seconds. So Verdant, they've committed a little bit to topside. Really wants to make sure that he won't be spotted leaving out of mid. Errol currently clearing the jungle at the moment, which is a bit interesting. Not showing on the map ahead of this dragon. Maybe just wants a little extra gold. I do like the Ludens on the Carthus. You can go for the Leandries as well. I used to really enjoy Dark Harvest. In the jungle, and then, you know, you'd ult not only for economy, the first strike does do more damage and gives you more money, but also just to like put fear into your opponents, so you're farming those stacks. It's really fun. Lundorf is under pressure. I wonder if Verdant wanted to exchange the dragon, because they've committed hard to this top side.
Yeah, Verdant, they put so many members up top and they all get spotted with
goes
the
for nothing as well.
They
send
keep hanging around.
Top and barely collects midwave. That's really worrying. I think Verdant might be starting to panic.
Verdant running out of options, running out of time. They still collapse onto Lundorf, but won't even get anything out of it as he uses a Slicing Maelstrom. Still has the Rocket Bell, still has the stopwatch in his inventory. And meanwhile, Partizan also in the bot lane with the Rift Herald. Verdant, they're this card house and it's just collapsing.
I think they've got to try and get some of these like big fights. They've got to try and get into something first and use the Wukong, use the Carthus to spread Partizan out. You know, their strongest members are still melee. Kennen wants to be on top of what he's ulting.
They're not giving those fights. They're never there.
No. It's really tough right now.
You know, you think the opportunity could perhaps happen around at Ocean Drake, where Partizan was trying to do something, but now in the mid lane, they found Clocks, and he will go down to the Requiem. A little bit of a bailout, buys a little bit of time, but Errol still picks up that kill, and that's what we wanted to see. Finally, Verdant find a kill.
Alright, they get one back. They do have to use a lot for it. You know, the Requiem, Super Mega Death Rocket, and the ultimate out here from Rakan from Cly. It's a lot, but it is something. You know, they're back on the board in a small way. I think it's going to be the magic penetration items coming out from Errol. Is really, really good on Carthus. Adds so much extra damage, especially to that clutch ultimate at low health, scaling up the Shadow Flame. Mid T1 goes down. A lot of things feel inconsequential. They feel slightly messy right now. Partizan are still in the lead, but that's just a consequence of losing Clocks in mid. They just grab a mid tier 1 tower, fall away again. This isn't an orchestrated play. I want to see them all go back together, all get out into that Baron and set up vision around what could be the next place that Verdant feel the need to contest.
Now, we hit the 20-minute mark. I think that officially starts the mid-game, rather. So we saw some vision toggles right there. Quite some deep vision or rather defensive vision for Partizan here. But 20-minute mark, we are in that mid-game, and Viego, 2 items, will be absolutely strong. Yopa as well has got the quick release, and the Gale Force already must feel so comfortable on Desire right now. Also has his flash, also has Featherstorm, also has Gale Force. And the bailout if needed.
Yeah, so much like he's going to have the Cannon ultimate in front of him. He's got the Locket behind Solari just for that little extra bonus. What we're looking at here is Clocks being able to move around threats. He's not going to be a victim of a clutch Gnar unless it's really, really good and takes him completely by surprise. He's just going to be able to move away. And he's still got all this damage.
Yeah.
If Verdant are going to do this, it's going to be huge. They have to get a big team fight. They have to get this Gnar, who has been absent from the game on their all-star top laner, on Nile, into the fights. And we've got to see some big circle energy, some big execution, and ultimates layered on top of each other.
Question is if Partizan will ever give Verdant that opportunity. Taxa might be in some trouble. This time will be playing separately. Oh, but there is the cannon. But not enough damage just yet. But it is a great Renato ultimate. The executes are not quite there. Flashing forward, Taxa trying to get the cannon, will eventually get it. Even Relay flashing forward, but Kevo, he's still living. Kevo somehow survives, but Clay will be sacrificed for his AD carry. Loads invested by Partizan, but nothing they can get really out of it. 2 kills took him so much effort.
Yeah, it's not the 2-for-1 they were swimming for there. That they were trying to find. Errol will just clear away this mid tower. There's also not much to be had. They will take the Baron vision, but it's you know, it's small prizes for small fights.
Yeah, loads of flashes forward. Lundord and Relay. You're looking at those 2 carries. They don't have any other mobility spells. Yes, Kennen can get back into his lightning rush, but he obviously would love to use that to engage rather than to fundamentally.
It was very much like blow everything over the wall, and now we need to finish them off. It took quite a long time.
Exhaust and the cleanse as well. Loads of summoner spells being used on the side of Verdant. Let's not underestimate that. And those will be on cooldown for a potential Ocean Drake fight. Let's say even a Baron fight.
Alright. I'd like to see Partizan just reset up that defensive vision. You highlighted they wanted it earlier. Verdant have found Lee and Snilly now will find the sword and maybe wonder why the 2 members of Verdant on the flank here are getting away with it.
But who's flanking? that's a little bit of the question here right now. Because we also see Snilly and Clocks making this map very, very dangerous.
Tax is just in no man's land here. We'll be able to exit through the lane. Maybe?
Perhaps. Willie, though, he got spotted. And now Snille will just cut him off. We always land the spells. Taxa, no flash available. Does still have the Cyclone, but so many members of Partizan being there. Taxa just trying to buy time here. And the question remains, who will get this kill? It will be Relay in the end. But the rest of Verdant actually on this Drake that does have an objective bounty on it. So that could be quite big for them.
Yeah, pretty huge. They will trade the start of the Baron in trade. I think Partizan should have probably raced straight towards that. Verdant here. They're gonna blow some tools. They're gonna hit the ultimates. It's a lot of damage across the map, but it will not stop this Baron going down. Well done, Taxa, for securing the Chemtech Dragon, but unfortunately, it comes at a bit of a cost.
Let's see how much Partizan can do with this. The Baron buff could be absolutely massive. They still have so many towers on the map. Only the outer towers they have been able to secure so far. Obviously, that gold also happens. I'm looking into the inventories, but don't have the time for that, as Clay was looking for an engage. Just an exchange for ultimates.
Yeah, often how the Zyra Rakan goes, you know, when Rakan just comes in and uses that ultimate, uses the quickness to try and get in. Yoppa just has to burn the feathers fly from the Zyra. It's very respectful. I don't mind it at all. Right, we're going to play Partizan now, crazy. We've got our Baron buff. We've got a bit of a lead. We're out across the map. What do we want to do next? We want to invade our opponent's jungle. We want to get in around that mid-tier 2. It's pesky. It's still up there. It's stopping us from moving all the way through our opponent's jungle.
But we want that. We want to get be annoying and get those kills.
Yeah, we want to get in there. We want to get into this jungle. So
yes,
you're gonna set up in this top side. You're gonna try and get under a tier 2 turret. Side lanes are a bit easier than mid. It's not a huge surprise that Yopper will bring the wave in here, really holding on to his ultimate, holding on to that stun. We'll just wait. He'll just hang around.
Yeah, really. On the Annie level 16 already. Obviously got the Rod of Ages to help him with that. Stun ready on the Annie. Meanwhile, it's Lundorf who's being caught and who Verdant wants to try to kill, but is he maybe killing Taxa in the process? Second Cyclone will be enough to take down this cannon. I like the decisiveness. I like that they're finally attacking a lane, but meanwhile they're losing top lane tier 2. You need to get more than just that one kill.
Another trade of player for objective. We'll have Partizan taking the tower this time. It's left Verdant in a little bit of disarray, though. They did use a Super Mega Death Rocket. They used the Cyclone there. What are they going to use to defend this tower?
Let's see, perhaps Nile can make his great entrance into this game. See that Naba slowly filling up as Kefo just takes away all his minions, so it's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm really underestimating Errol's lay wastes here. He's managing to hold this wave out at such long distance. As soon as you approach, target can be switched over. It's just going to have to be Partizan moving through the jungle here. They will eventually get the tower with the full wave and guiding it in with Baron themselves. Errol doing so much to keep his team alive right now.
Now, obviously, it's looking rough for Verdant and it's looking really great for Partizan to lock in that first place. But for Verdant, you do have this one little thing, that one little magical thing that we casters love to talk about, and it's scaling. We look at Errol and we're like, where is the death cap?
Yeah, one
Can
more
we
level
get
to go.
it, please?
One more level to go. That needles rod in his inventory will transfer over. Sort of best Carthus build, you know, you get as much damage as you can, you get the Shadow Flame, then you get a bit more damage just because you can. Verdant have managed to sort of stabilize this lead. It's still only just north of 6,000, so that means Partizan aren't growing ahead anymore.
Just 6,000? Okay.
I know, just 6,000, just one small,
I guess
small chunk of
up
change.
north, all those leads mean a little bit less. I see.
True, the inflation is horrendous. Right.
It's worse than Netherlands.
Kevin will be catching up to Yopper in items, and really caught out here will be joined by Lundorf.
Yeah, there you go, Londorf and Rile, both solo laners getting caught in the quickness. How much damage can this Annie do? Snilly also being dead. This might just be it for Verdant. But it somehow Rile still survives, finally gets shut down. But perhaps it's Snilly. What can he do? Can he get the kills? Can he get the executes? Not quite yet. He can't get the resets. Finally gets the kill, and he might be looking forward now. He might be looking forward to re-engage with the Gnar. Another heartbreaker. But also the battle dance from Clay, making sure that he gets out alive. 2 huge kills being picked up by Verdant. Meanwhile, Yoppa looking for it in a solo kill. Meanwhile, Texa, you need to be careful there. You don't want to give more kills away to Snille, but I guess he'll just be the sacrificial lamb. Snille, legendary on the Viego, as Yoppa breaks open the base of Verdant.
I was so worried for Partizan there. Yoppa alone in the bottom lane was nowhere near that fight, and being the carry, you gotta wonder, how far can the group Partizan go with that? The answer is, in the chaos of the team fight, you don't need Lundorf. Snilly was able to get in and do just enough on his little lonesome. Even though Partizan were at a huge disadvantage in that fight, losing both solo laners, Lundorf, before he could even get an ult off, they managed to take that tier 3 inhibitor. When your bot lane inhibitor goes down, you have a less than 10% chance to win a game of League of Legends.
Damage check.
Verdant well and truly on the back foot. That's some damage.
That's a lot of damage.
You know what? Maybe Errol just heard me, and he was like, right, on the back foot apparently. Let's just, let's cast Requiem and just farm some gold. Must be getting a huge amount. It's going to be about a kill's worth of gold, I think. Every time you cast that ultimate, and it's already a quarter of the way back up already. That much cooldown reduction. Partizan claimed the dragon, so soul point on the table in 5 minutes. We're starting to pick up pace. The mid game is becoming the late game craze.
And those fights that Verdant just picked, that was a great layering of CC. They managed to get 2 kills, 2 shutdowns. Well, 1 shutdown, I believe. I don't think Lundidor had a shutdown on his name, but really definitely had. Those are the great team fights I want to see. And then it's okay if you trade 2 for 2. Any equal trade is worth it. Obviously, Yoppa was active in the bot lane, even forcing Kevo to flash. That's an important cooldown to keep in mind as well.
Alright, the Baron's back up. Verdant on the red side. should be able to approach this easier over the back wall, but Partizan will not make it easy for them. Layer of vision as Taxa walks forwards. We're looking for Really to really engage this fight. He's going to be the enforcer. He's going to stand off to the side. Oh, no, Lundorf!
Caught! Lundorf saw how much damage one Requiem did on him while he was just damage checking, and he took that personally. Verdant, are you still going for this? Are you still going to try to deny this Baron? Are you still looking to contest it? There comes the ultimate from the Renata. Everyone from Verdant looking to disengage. They do so successfully.
Verdant are being successful here by, even though they don't have Errol to dominate the Baron Pit, they've pulled Partizan away. It has reset the objective, has bought them time in 20 seconds. Errol will have that Requiem available. They've got to do it again, though. They're going through too fast. Yeah,
there is Tibbers play looking for it, but the Zonias is greatly timed. Taxa looking for another cage, finds more, but no one dies. Kevo can't get into the fight. Nile also in the mini-nar, not being able to do it, and meanwhile the Baron is secured by Yopa. Second one for Partizan, as Nile will fall as well. Although actually able to survive. Zonia's being used by Londov for the Requiem. Verdant only lose their jungler somehow. Could end a lot worse. Partizan will be happy with this Baron.
Verdant could have stolen that Baron with a Super Mega Death Rocket aimed at Yopa, but they didn't think the AD carry was carrying on, perhaps, and it just reveals them in the pit. The explosion damage would have been far more than enough to outsmite at less than
100 for a bit.
Yeah, stuck on 100. You know, like you just saw your heart stop as the rocket accelerates past the Baron, smoothly sailing away. Partizan with that now will try and get these waves in. It's really tough to clear out those fully empowered waves. We'll take this top tier 3. This is sort of the death throes of the game. If Verdant has come back, they need to get Errol deep under Partizan lines.
This might just be one of the final chances Verdant has got in this game. You've got scaling, sure, but scaling won't save you against 3 inhibitors down. There's the engage, but immediately gets neutralized by the Renata. Clay and Tex are both so incredibly low. Snill is already in the base. He's looking to secure this first seed. Kevo forced to use the Zonias as Yopa has had absolutely enough of this game. Double kill for Desire as Snille is just diving together with his team. It is Partizan that executes this game oh so flawlessly. Goes 5-0 and secures the first seed in Group D for the EBL.
Partizan going first. Such a huge deal for these players. They've been through so much together.